All right, welcome everybody. We have 52 participants on the line. More people are going to be trickling in here as we go on. And I would like to introduce our speaker for today, and that is none other than Mr. Christion Sadler, captivating Christion Sadler. Now, if you haven't met Christion before, new to the call, now before getting started with Renatus, Christion was actually a very troublesome young man in his teens. He got kicked out of class a lot. He actually said that he got kicked out of almost every school after grade school. As he got older, he found himself in quite a bit of financial scarcity. He was working a daily wage job in steel fabrication. And around this time, he had heard about real estate and the wealth opportunities that it could generate for him. He started attending different guru events, but really felt like he was spinning his wheels, wasn't going very far. And eventually, he did come across Renatus, just like many of us did. And he took this opportunity very seriously, looked at it very differently. He started getting around the people he wanted to be like, showing up early, staying late, helping out wherever he could. And because of Christion's determination, his tenacity, his persistence, he has now been in the real estate business over 13 years. He's done multiple real estate transactions that have netted over 6 figures. And he is just an incredible person, a marketing leader, PIT team member, one of the founding team members of Team Elevate. And, I just really look up to Christion. So without further delay, let's bring on Mr. Christion Sadler on the line. So good morning, Christion. How's your morning going today?
Really good, Abby. How's yours?
Mine's great. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, by all means. Thank you, Abby, for starting these off and doing it. Sounds like even when it's not convenient. So you're on a train, and we appreciate you still being here and showing up and being consistent in what you do. We really are grateful for everything. Thank you so much, Abby. And folks, we will jump right into things here. So here is my topic of conversation today. And hold on, let me just check this. Looks like we got some background noise. Go check this out. All right. Covered. All right, so my topic for today is we're going to talk about social media, and specifically watching your habits with social media and using them in a more positive and productive fashion. The interesting thing about the society that we're in is social media has us so connected in amazing ways, really. I mean, really incredible how connected we are as a whole, and how quickly you can connect with just about anybody, and how you can stay in contact with family and friends, and you can actually know what's going on with their life, even if you haven't had the chance to speak to them on the phone recently. And there's a danger. There's a big danger. And what it really comes down to is, this can act almost the same way as any type of a drug, meaning you can start feeling like you need it. And especially I'm talking about the consumption of social media. Now, I'm saying this, from personal experience, and because I know there's somebody on the line that needs to hear this. And you may not even be realizing how social media is affecting your personal life, your business life, and your everything life, for that matter, in a negative way. So there's a couple of key things that I've become accountable to, and I'm going to suggest that you guys become accountable to as well. If you find yourself consuming more than you find yourself sharing and connecting, there may be a problem, or at least it could become a problem from the standpoint that, well, I already talked about it. You are needing the consumption of it in order to, move forward and feel good and feel connected and all of those things. And you may be disconnected in some ways in a personal level. And guess what? How do we make progress? How do we get results? We get results through connections. And so what I'm going to suggest is a way that you can start building out more successful habits with your social media. And in fact, I'm actually going to do a little giveaway with you guys if you will assist me in some of the ways that I'm engaging in social media. So this week we're going to talk specifically about Facebook, and next week I've got another platform, and we're going to talk about that. And I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing, and I'm going to show you what the plans are. In fact, I've really studied some people that are utilizing these platforms, and they're doing some really, really cool things. So one of the things that I've been doing recently is I've been seeking out everybody that I can that's making big money in Renatus, and just asking for the opportunity to get an inside peek. And that's one beautiful thing about this business. You know that there's not a lot of industries you could go to, or businesses that you could go to, where you could show up at your, at somebody else that's in the same industry as you, that's marketing in the same space as you, that are looking for the same type of clients as you, that would give you everything that it is that they're doing. John O'Neill used to talk about this, how when he was a contractor, there was no way that he could go and knock on the door of his fellow contractor and say, hey man, how do you bid your jobs? What kind of margins do you put in? What do you mark up with these different things? And let me share my screen here. All right, so we're just going to leave it right here for now. Anyways, so we're in an industry that is really, quite interesting, where we have all of these people, myself, Dane that was on the call yesterday, and Bill Predabon that was on before that, and Michael Huggins that was on before that, and even the people that aren't doing, specifically calls like this. If you reach out to them and you say, hey, I'd like to know what you're doing, what's working, guess what? Every single time I've done that in Renatus, they've opened up their book. They've said, here you go. This is what I'm doing. This is how I'm doing it. This is the ways that I'm sharing it. This is, the who, the what, the how, and the why. And I just really feel grateful for that. Thinking about how blessed we are, to have that. And I know that's what attracted to me about Renatus in the beginning was, if you guys know my background, Abhi talks a little bit about it on here, but I mean, I was kind of a trouble kid. I got in a lot of trouble just with with my actions and the way that I viewed life and everything else. And I went. I actually used to load truck for a living when I was still in high school. So I would load these trucks for big company UPS, and I got really good at that job. But there wasn't really anybody there that was, helping me or guiding me. It was more they were just testing me to see how fast I could go, right? And the faster I could go, the more they would load onto my plate. And then I went into steel fabrication. And so right out of high school, a week out of high school, I went into steel fabrication. And, I had some people that really cared about me there. I had my best friend's dad was one of the guys that worked in the shop with me. And there was another guy that, that was really close. And then I had two family members that also worked there. I didn't even know that they worked there until I went for the interview, because my buddy had brought me down to get the job and kind of put in the good word for me. And interestingly enough, is with all these people that cared about me, there was still this feeling of, I'm going to teach you what you need to know, but I can't quite teach you everything that I've learned, because I don't want you to take my job, right? Now, I don't think my family would have done that, but I wasn't working in the positions that they were working, right? But, some of the other people, that was kind of the feeling, and my boss even said it like out loud to me. He said almost those exact words. He's like, hey, I'm going to teach you this. I'm going to help you build these skills. I'm not going to give you everything that I know in running the shop, because I still need job security for myself. In other words, he was afraid of somebody else, stepping up into that position. And you know what? That's the majority of the corporate world. Even if they don't say it out loud, oftentimes that's the thought in the back of somebody's head when they're working a W-2 type of a job is I can't teach you all the tricks that make me as good as I am, because if you get as good or better than me, then you might take my position. And in Renata's here, we just don't have that. There is no scarcity from that standpoint. There's no scarcity in sharing what it is that we're doing. And so I'm just going to walk you guys through and show you one of the things that I'm doing so that when my time is on social media, I am sharing, right? I am posting, engaging, and connecting, okay? And so that way I'm spending much less time in consuming. And when I realized, just how much it was a go-to for me in, those little moments, right? Those little moments where we don't quite have anything to do, where we're, waiting for something or, whatever it is, my go-to was to click open, social media and consume, right? I was liking people's posts and doing those things. And there is a benefit to some of that, but it can go overboard. And quite frankly, that's what you want to watch for. So what I'm focused on is creating more of connecting and engaging with people. And so one of the ways that I've decided to do that is I've created a brand new page. Now, I have a couple of pages already, and I started a new one because I wanted to kind of brand myself as the Salt Lake Investor Club. I decided, you know what, instead of trying to reach everybody, everywhere, all the time, I'm going to narrow down my focus. And a lot of this came from learning from Zach Ullman. This is kind of his focus. Is he focused specifically on the Valley, right? The I don't know, is it Maricopa County? His valley right there in Phoenix, Arizona. So he narrowed himself in, and that's what he focuses on. He's got the the Valley Investor Club, and so with a little bit of plagiarism, modified to fit my criteria, I created this page. And so I've got Salt Lake Investor Club. Somebody came off a mute here. Go ahead and get you guys covered. You're best to watch this. All right, so I came in. And by the way, if you're going to do something similar, it's really easy. Like Facebook is trying to get you to create, engage, and connect. They actually moved these bars right here to where just right next to where you would normally click, there's a create button. When you click on create, you can click on page. Now, the reason that I chose page was you can create pages and you can build out the content, and there's a lot of control within that content. People don't necessarily expect to be able to engage themselves in the conversation. They're more there to connect and consume. And so, yes, I know it's kind of the opposite, right? But that's kind of what I want, is I want people connecting with me, right? And I want to engage with people from that standpoint. And then I'm going out into the groups, and I'm posting into the groups where people can engage backwards. So you just click on page right here, and that pulls it up, and literally it's a step-by-step process from there. I don't have to walk you guys through the rest of that. Literally, just if you're on Facebook, you go to, you can be on any page, and it's right at the top. You click on create, and you start from there. All right, so I created my page, and I called it Salt Lake Investor Club. Pretty slick, right? Haha, a little bit of a pun there. And now what I've done is I'm just starting this. Like literally, I think, and maybe it'll say it here somewhere, I think this is less than 2 weeks old as far as my page. Let's see let's go down to the first posting and see what we've got here. It probably doesn't matter to you guys, but I'm just going to do it anyways. Oh, so, all right. So yeah, June 6th. So literally, is that 14 days ago? I think that it is. So 2 weeks on the dot since I created this page. And one of the things that I did is I knew that I was going to be building out multiple social media platforms with this same brand. I was going to focus on this one brand. And there was a lot of thought process behind why I chose this. Please understand, as I'm sharing this, you don't have to be, the Salt Lake Investor Club or the, Denver Investor Club or any of that stuff. You can actually just build out a page of yourself, right? And you can use yourself, or you can, create some other type of a brand. And again, I do have some other pages, with the TV show that I did a couple of years back. I've got that there. And let's see, we've also got Patriot Property Management. I haven't really built that page out, but I just claimed it because that's my business name. I've got my dog, I've got Investors Train Investors. That's my company. And I could have just built out Investors Train Investors, but for me, I wanted something new and engaging. And again, there was just a lot of thought process behind why I wanted to create my brand as the Salt Lake Investor Club. And a lot of it is I actually collaborate with a lot of the clubs and specifically RIAs in Utah, right? I know most of the RIA owners. I've actually co-hosted events with some of the local RIAs. I've spoken at some of the local RIAs. And so this gives me kind of the freedom and the opportunity to include everything that I'm doing, in that space and, do it right here within the page. So one of the things I did was I created a logo. Now, I didn't create the logo, right? That's not my expertise. That's not my specialty. So the way that I did it, literally I did all of this in a day, by the way, guys. I built out Meetup, which is what I'm going to talk to you guys about next week. I built out my Facebook page. I actually rebranded Meetup. I had a very large Meetup already, but it was more entrepreneurial based, and I wasn't sharing as much as in there as I would like. And it was because I was trying to be a very general entrepreneur type Meetup, and so I shifted that and focused on what is going to excite me the most about sharing. And so that's what I did. And I rebranded my Meetup, and I launched my Facebook page, and I started building events all on the same day. So I went to Fiverr, Fiverr.com, right? And I just simply came in here and I searched logo, right? Actually, it says right there, recent searches, logo design, right? Now, this is a very inexpensive way for you to have somebody else do the things that you need done, right? To build the skills, or to use the skills that you don't have, okay? And so I came in here, I just kind of searched through. I found the one that I felt like made most sense. I wasn't looking to spend a ton of money. I knew that I could switch it later on. If the logo, was something that didn't super excite me, I was going to use it anyways. And then I was going to pay somebody else to build another one later on. And so that's the cool part about this is, you're not spending a ton of money. So for me, I can actually show you what it looked like. I came right here. I placed my order. I submitted the requirements. He started on doing the work. He delivered these right here. And they all kind of had this look to them where they were, what do you call it? Weathered, I guess you would call it. And so I asked him to do more of a clean look. And he asked if that's what I really wanted, because that was the distressed, the vintage look that he was going for. I said, yes, please. He cleaned them up a little bit. Boom. Order was done, and we finished it out. So literally back and forth. I think this took, let's see, it went from June. We did the order on June 4th. I had the logo June 5th right there with a 5-star review. So not bad, right? One day. So I guess I actually started this process, let's see, 16 days ago when I actually decided what I was going to build and did that. And then we launched everything, from there. So I came over here and then I just started building out. And for me, one of the things that I think is easy for, you guys are going to look at how archaic I am in the way that I create things. Is I'm not super good with Photoshop or any of those things. So one of the easiest things that I've learned in order to create pictures like this profile picture right here is there's websites out there that you can do it, and you can also go to and you can just use PowerPoint. So I'm going to just show you one of the ways that I will build a picture. Okay, so I'll come here, I'll create a blank presentation, you know, I'll get rid of these things right here. Delete, delete, and I will insert a picture. So let's come right here, and we're gonna come down to like Investor Club. I'm gonna grab a logo. Uh-oh. Come on. Come on, Mr. Computer, keep up. I don't know what's slowing me down here. Hold tight. All right. PowerPoint is weird things. All right, I'm gonna get out of there. Maybe. Come on, Mr. Computer, work with me. All right, well, while that's working, there's another website, and I just remembered about it. Because one of the ways that I created some of the pictures was I just Googled. You know, Facebook cover picture template. And there's a couple different websites that you can do it with. You can also just find out, you know, what this size is. And then one of the websites that you can use is called Canva, C-A-N-V-A. And Canva is a way that it's got all these crazy designs, like awesome kind of template designs, and you can use them. So literally if I went to, well, it's right here. Facebook cover was one of the last ones I did, right? So that it's going to make it the correct size for a Facebook cover. So there's tools for all these things, right? You don't have to be an expert. You can get it all the right size by just using somebody else's. So if you took a design here, you could take this one, you could switch out the picture that's in the back, right? And you can make it your own picture, and you can do all those things. So won't go too much into that, but simple ways of just making it a little bit more professionally designed, I guess I would call it. And so I did a few different logos. I took the logos and I did them a few different ways. And then what I did was I started building out specifically events. So we'll scroll down here. You guys will see. What I want to do is I want to creatively word my events so that they are intriguing, and at the same time, make sure it doesn't feel like a bait and switch type of situation. And so for our Thursday nights, if you guys know our Thursday nights here in Utah, you know, we've got, well, I'll give you the description and this will kind of lay it out for you. If you can imagine, this helps you envision yourself showing up on a Thursday night, if you guys agree with me, right? So I talk about averaging 300 people in attendance, with 7 separate rooms for learning. This is arguably the largest in-person real estate investor gatherings in Utah. Read the rooms listed below, and please note that some rooms are for paid members only. I'm already setting the expectation that, there's a cost to participate in some of the rooms. And then I just did a little short description on each room. So the 4 pillars of wealth room, 4 pillars wealth in Espanol, onboarding, right? Essential study group. The deal room, this is AIT study group, by the way. I just think the deal room is a more sexy name, and I kind of took that from Arizona team as well. Spanish Mastermind, elevated marketing training, and I lay it all out, and so people are seeing, okay, these guys have a ton going on. I want to be a part of it. Like, I want to go and show up. Now, in the description, I actually put here, let me just put this, we're expecting over 300 attendees at this event, and we do not use Facebook for check-in, so additional registration is required. Please send your phone number and email to the event host for official registration. Exact location will be given after confirmation. Please do me a favor. If you guys are posting all of these events out on the social media, don't put the address with it. Unless you're like the host and it's the place where everybody actually registers and pays for a specific event, we don't want the address to all the events on 50 different And Facebook, it doesn't matter as much because Facebook is a lot going to go out to your own network. But if you're doing Meetup and you're doing Eventbrite and all these things and you're sharing the address, what's going to happen is there's going to be a whole bunch of people that show up that don't know how they're supposed or who they're supposed to be there with or why they're supposed to be there. And it makes registration a hassle. And quite frankly, a lot of those people you're going to lose because if you didn't have them registered, guess what? They're going to roll to the host. And then you're going to be trying to, create this case of why you think that person might be yours, if you even know that they showed up. If you've got any type of, the amount of people that many of the locations that I go to, you're not even going to know if that person showed up because you don't know them yet. And so you want to create engagement where they're going to choose to send you their information. You're going to get them registered and you're going to have some dialogue with them, throughout this process. Now, cool part about this is as I created this page, the other thing that I've done and what I continue to do is, and let me go back to the actual page, is I'm just adding my personal network in here so that it can continue to get a bigger reach. So if you're right here inside your page, it's got, invite your friends. If you click on see all your friends, now there's certain people that I've skipped. So there's a couple of my family members that they've already told me they don't really want to hear about my business, right? And then there's Renata's folks, and so I kind of skip past the Renata's folks, right? I'm not adding everybody from Renata's in there. Now I'm going to ask some of you guys to go actually like my page and help me, but for the most part, I'm not trying to get the Renata's people to click on the event and click that they're going, and especially if it's Renata's people that I'm not necessarily connected to and I don't even know is Renata's. I'm trying to get information for them and register, and then I have to, and then I'm having a conversation that's not helping anybody, right? Instead, I just go through here. Now, I'm not super picky either. I just kind of skip to people that I know for sure, and I just click through and I start, getting a bunch of invites. And my goal is I do about 150 of these a day right now. That's not going to be that way forever, right? But I've got 5,000 friends on my friends list. I've got a lot of people that already are watching what I'm doing, and they would probably like the opportunity to engage more fully in what it is that I'm sharing with the different events that I do. And this is just a way that I can start building out and connecting with a whole bunch of people. So we're just going to do 50 right now. Like literally, it's just click, 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 click. I'm actually not looking at names, so if you guys are recognizing people and saying, "Oh, I thought you said you didn't," connect with them. Well, I don't spend a lot of time focused on it. So we're just going to go. That's 50 right there, and I send the invites, right? And so rather than getting on and consuming, I get on and I connect with people. I send out messages, invites for people to connect with this page. And I engage with folks and talk to them. And so what else was I specifically going to share with you guys? This is in its infancy stages, right? I didn't expect this to create massive results right away. So a lot of what I'm doing right now is I'm building content. So when people come to this page later on, they can see, oh, they had this event and this event and this event. Oh, that's what I was going to share with you. I was going to show you guys events. I'm going to go to past events. One of the things that I'm doing, because if people are checking things out, I'm going to go to, let's see, how do I go to my past events? Oh, right here. So I flipped tour. Here's what I did. I came into the event and I actually shared pictures into the event. So I think that I look at that discussion right here. All right. So in the discussion of, the event itself, I'm actually sharing pictures from the event. And so what I'm focusing on is places where I'm going to be and I can get the picture, or I am going to have people there that I can get pictures from. So I'm focusing on our Tuesday Ogden presentation, and I've got Stephanie Davis that said, yeah, I'll make sure that I get you some pictures from each week so that we can share those, onto the different social media platforms. So this way, when people are coming back to your group and they're trying to see what's going on with your group, you've got all these pictures. And the cool part about it is I share the pictures into the event, but then they show up all over the page as well. So if we go back to just the actual page itself, you'll notice that those pictures show up in different places, throughout. So if you click on one of these events that we're building for, like this weekend, for example, we've got the Seller Finance Notes event, right? So if I click on this, oh wait, this is the one that I shared through Meetup. I'm kind of testing different things and seeing what works better, whether they're, if I share one of my Meetup events onto Facebook or whether I share the Facebook events. I believe the Facebook events are going to be more effective. All right, so let's click on this one. Social media marketing, right? So this is the live class. And I come in here, and if you notice, let's see. All right, I'm not doing a great job at showing you, but let's just put it this way. When you share pictures onto your page, it shows up in different areas as people are searching around your page and checking stuff out. And so that's kind of cool. Now, one of the last things that I wanted to share with you is one of the things that I'm going to be focused on moving forward is getting reviews, okay? Now, interesting thing enough is I got a review on my page, and I didn't even ask for it, right? So I created the page, and I had this guy right here come down, and Nathan actually had come down and looked at Renatus with me. He's actually looked multiple times. He's going to be buying his combo. His wife just inherited a bunch of land in Alaska, and so they are figuring out the probate process right now, and then the goal is that he's going to be buying his combo so that he can properly manage those assets, right? But because I've treated him good, because when we had a follow-up, he loved everything he did, what did he do? When he saw that I shared this page, he's like, oh, I came down and I saw the Salt Lake Investor Club. And he said, positive, experienced, and honest investors to help you know if it's for you and what your next step is to be. So here's my bribe for all of you, okay? I would like you guys to share some reviews. Now, when you share those reviews, it's your experience here within the group with Renatus. But I don't necessarily want you to say Renatus, right? I want you to generalize it as the group. Or you can actually reference me personally. And so a really good review would be, for example, and I'm not wording your review for you. What I'm saying is we can be reciprocal here. If you guys will help me in, reviewing my Facebook and my social media, I'm willing to come do the same thing for you. And I'm going to do a giveaway for those of you who are just willing to do it for me regardless. But a typical review would be something like, for example, if you came down and you saw Velocity Banking your first day, right? And you ran your numbers and you realized that you were going to save $40,000 off your mortgage, then that would be a great review. My first event, I learned a strategy where I could save $40,000 in interest off of my mortgage. Awesome experience, 5 stars, right? Another review might be something like, what I learned from Christion helped me in, yada, yada, yada. You can spell that out in whatever way that you want. So, what I learned from Christion or what I learned from the group or my experience with this group has changed my, real estate investing career. I was already flipping properties, and now I've been able to expand into rentals, right? Now, this has got to be real stuff. I don't want you guys to fabricate anything. It's got to be real, right? So either, connecting with this group has added this benefit for me, or what I learned from Christion, helped me in this way. And, I met so many experienced investors. I was blown away at the experience, something of that sort. So what I'm doing is I also want to spread these out a little bit, right? So the first thing I want you to do is go go to Salt Lake Investor Club, right? Just look me up on Facebook, right? And then come over here to reviews. I want you to write your own review, okay? And it's got to be real. It's got to be truth. And if you'll do that, I'm going to give away a few books, actually 4 books. I have 2 books written by Jim Rohn. I thought it was perfect that we had a Jim Rohn quote this morning, because I've got 2 Jim Rohn books that I'm going to be giving away over the next 4 days. And I'm also giving away 2 books by a local guy that I actually have spoken on his stage before, and it's all about public speaking. The name of the book is Being Boring Sucks, So Stop It. And it actually is, it's an experiential book where you'll do some exercises to become a better speaker overall. So I'm giving away 4 books, and here's how it's going to be. 1 for each day. So if 1 person does a review today, guess what? They get the book. Now, if 3 people do it, then I'm just going to do a random drawing of those 3. I'll throw those 3 names in a hat, and I'll pull out a name, and I will connect with you, and I'll send you the book. And then tomorrow, so tomorrow is Friday, so whoever does a review on Friday, then if it's 1 person that does a review, you're getting a book. If it's multiple people, then I'm going to do a drawing for Friday. And the same for Saturday, and the same for Monday. So I'm going to do, if you guys will spread these out, go do a review, help me out. And also, I want this to be reciprocal. I would never ask you guys to do something that I wouldn't be willing to do for any of my fellow Renatus folks. And so if you guys build out a page and start sharing, your events that way, then let me know. I'd be happy to go give you guys a review as well. And the best reviews, of course, are personal. So if I know you personally and there's value that you've brought to my life, that's going to help me. That's going to help me help you, if you know what I mean. I'm going to be able to do a better review for you. However, I can also do it just from the group, just like you guys can do it for me, just for the group. So I've got to start the Pit Team webinar here. Is there any questions? Let me pull this up because it looks like there is some chats. All right. All right. Where did you get the instructor pick? I just took it off of the email that Renatus had sent out, LaShawn. So that one with Rob Sperry, they sent out the notification for the Founders Webinar with Rob Sperry. So I just did a little clip. I'll actually show you guys how to do this. Let me stop this video. All right. So you can actually use a snipping tool right here. I think all computers have them, at least PCs do. And you can actually just take this with the snipping tool and capture anything from your screen as a picture. And so I went to that email. I just cut out Rob's picture, and I used that for that one. Lee Morris, can we create a page like this even if we aren't hosts of the event? Oh, absolutely. No, you don't have to be a leader. You can go create one right now. Again, what I ask is if you're going to create these, if everybody's going to create them, don't share the address of the event. Make sure that people have to connect with you personally before they show up at the event. Okay, so don't share the address. But yes, absolutely, you can build this, and you can build for every event, always, all the time. That's why we have the events. Jody, you actually answered that already for me. So Sandra, yes, you can put a review once you like my page. So if you'll go to my page, and if you'll like it, and then if you'll click on the review and go ahead and build out, or share that review, that would be awesome. Jody, you're helping me out. Anybody can create a page. All of you can create a page. And the page doesn't have to be any type of a club page, right? That's what I decided based on who I am and my connections and how I'm going to run the page. But your page could be, joeschmo.com. Your page could be, 20-somethings real estate investors, right? If you're trying to target a specific target, then, some of the best pages are those niche pages. Yours might be, I'm trying to think of a different demographic. It could be, women in real estate, and you could specifically build it for women, right? Now, that one's probably already taken. So that's one thing that I did is when I created the Salt Lake Investor Club is I Googled it. I went and saw if anybody had that as a business name. I went and found out if anybody had that already on Facebook because I wanted to be different. And I was just lucky, I think, that nobody had created Salt Lake Investor Club. So please don't go duplicate what I did, right? Build out your own brand that's specific to you and what you're looking to do. But anyways, nobody had claimed Salt Lake Investor Club. And, there was something like 10 years ago where somebody from the stock market had something about Salt Lake Investor Club and was in the news. But other than that, there was nothing. And so I wanted to rank in, in the Google searches and in the social media searches and all those things as an investor club in Salt Lake. And so I can see you guys liking my page. Thank you, all of you. I'm seeing you guys jump on there and like it, which means you're probably going to be giving me a review either today or tomorrow or Friday or actually Saturday or Monday. And I'm going to give away those books. So when I reach out to you as Salt Lake Investor Club, because of the review that you gave, just make sure you give me your mailing address because I'm literally going to mail you a physical book as a thank you. All right, last question here. Nope, no more questions. Is there any last questions? Do not name it Renatus. Right. I would suggest not renaming it Renatus. The reason that I chose not to put Renatus in my page is, well, I think there's actually rules against it in your IMA agreement, but also I don't want Renatus having liability for what I'm doing, right? I'm not sponsored by Renatus. Renatus is not approving the things that I post. And so I would suggest not using the name Renatus. Good question, Raquel. Now remember, this is going to pull you into social media. So you're going to be on Facebook. And it's really easy as you start doing this to click over here to the home, right? And to start scrolling, right? And start liking things. Don't do that, right? So I'm going to go right here, go straight to my page, right? Don't use this as an excuse to spend even more time consuming on Facebook. Use Facebook to engage and connect. Now, I'm not saying that you can't ever consume, right? I'm going to connect with people, but much less frequently. I actually took it off of the front page of my phone, right? I no longer have Facebook or Instagram or any of that on the front page of my phone. I have to go through multiple pages before I can even get to those things because I don't want my habit to be when I have a little bit of downtime, I need to consume social media. I would rather put my mind to work on solving problems and creating deals and bringing value to the marketplace. Yes, there is a class about the legal use of social media, and it's happening right now at corporate. So you can actually go on live if you have your AIT. I'll show you guys real quick, and then I've got to end the call because I got to get ready for the pit team. But let me just pull this up for you, Raquel. This will be the last one. You guys can see this. If you own your AIT, click on live, and this is your live stream.
It's more of like we got 4 kids. And
this is Rob Sperry right here.
2 days ago,
happening right now. Social media training.
So it's welcome December.
This is a class that's going in the education.
In the closet, right?
So
that was kind of
jump on,
like,
learn,
where did Janaea
apply.
Go? She was in the closet. So
Thanks for
sometimes
joining
you
me,
find
guys.
those spots to hide. So I'm going to start out a little bit different than you expect. And what do I mean by that? For social media, yes, we're going to talk